Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. This time we're taking a look at a quad base that has been tailored perfectly towards online and offline raids. If you happen to learn anything throughout this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, I'd appreciate it a lot. These guys have been out PvPing all day, winning fights, running monuments, and gaining lots of loot. After a short 36-hour session on Rust, they're probably due some sleep, and they can sleep easy living inside of this base, knowing that in the morning they'll wake up to a beautiful open core, and their most precious loot will be stored safely away inside of the base's bunkers. And as per my usual building style, if that online raid happens to come around, you will have an amazing chance inside this base. Talking about the base, here we are inside the tour. Let's get started. This base has got 4 TCs on the outside and then a 5th TC inside the main base, of course. And they're all Satori disconnectables that disconnect like so. And on this side we have a little compound peak, and on the opposite side we had our gatehouses. Base is symmetrical by 2 for this one. And that's our Satori disconnectable in action again. Allows us to replace the main TC in case you decide to move it somewhere else, or on the off chance it's been broken during a raid and you've managed to seal up and you want to slap it down again with ease. That's where the disconnectables come into play. Gatehouses are pretty bog standard, peeks in, peeks out. And the front door and gatehouse make a small airlock in the compound that could come in handy in some certain scenarios. As for compound, pretty basic. You've got space for your deployables, your refineries, your furnaces, anything like that. From here, this angle, we can see all the Widegap peaks we'd have on the compound. And this is that compound peak that I was talking about. Allows us to get some nice visuals from outside, and people may not expect to be peaked from that angle. Heading further around, you can see that this is the front door that leads into our starter base. The base is symmetrical by 2, however only one entrance will take us into that starter. And this garage door here opens up to reveal today's sponsor. Clash Royale from Supercell is a tower rush mobile game where you play in real-time multiplayer rounds starring your favorite Clash characters. Collect and upgrade dozens of cards featuring the spells and defenses you know and love, knock the enemy king and princess from their towers to defeat your opponents and win trophies, crowns, and glory in the arena. Clash offers impressive visuals, and just like Rust, you can form a clan with your friends and allocate roles to build your deck even higher. This strategy game rewards you for playing, giving you a challenging experience, making winning even more fulfilling. Give Clash Royale a download and see for yourself. Links are in the description, or the QR code has been at the top right. Cheers for the sponsor, Supercell. Let's get back into the tour. Our airlock is wide-gapped with, of course, a bunker on top that you can see. That's why those floors were armored. But we'll head into our starter base for just now. And we got the lights looking nice in here with the new tempered boxes. It's looking pretty clean. Starter base is wonderful. We've got 8 boxes to start us off. RTC, room for workbench, furnaces, and sleeping bags. Very nice indeed. And then it's ladder hatch mobility to take us to our second floor, which is okay because we'll be living out of the second floor for a majority of the time. And that's where the jump ups start from, so don't worry about that mobility. Here is one of our bunkers, and it's a Widegap bunker. It is exposed from the outside, excluding the garage door, so it's 3 rockets to despawn the loot, or 8 rockets to gain the loot. So it's still a bunker where you can keep your loot safe from raiders, and of course armor this if you want, but it will definitely give away what it is from the outside. Heading through this single door, and of course a bunch of garage doors would lead us into our open kind of core, where we have a lot of loot boxes spread around on the corners, divided up by doors, keeping that raid cost nice and high. If you're someone that likes to leave all your doors open, perfect spot for 2 turrets right there. That covers the entire place for you guys, nice and easy. And of course, 2 vending machines in the center to flex some boom and bait that online raid. Heading out our single door again, down to the opposite side of the base, you'll see this is our other airlock. And it just leads straight into the ladder hatch and completely avoids starter base. And of course a second bunker here. Again, 8 rockets or 3 rockets to despawn. And I don't see people being too desperate to despawn your loot. They'd rather get it, so we'll go with 8 rockets. Jumping up above the open core takes us to our bedroom floor. And again, every bedroom is separated again on every corner, divided up by doors, making it very hard to take out all of your team's respawns at once. And they're all spread out at different sides of the base, so they won't all get pummeled. Jumping up again gives us one final depot station that you can use when coming in from minicopter or scrap heli, before leading out into our shooting floor. our shooting floor is purely consisting of Widegaps. For people who are put off by freehands, just find them hard to do or really don't like them, this base has no freehands, so you can build this, don't worry, easy peasy. And oh my, is it a banging shooting floor. There is so much to do from here, so many angles, out far and wide, down below. 2 turrets cover the floor nice and easily. And of course some drop boxes here as well. Really nice angles here, allowing us to peek back in towards the base for breach peeks, down close in compound and far out, with some head glitches too. On each corner of the shooting floor we have another bedroom, adding even more respawns to this base. They come equipped with a breach peak down below, and an ankle biter for shooting floor to allow you to defend your base even easier. Jumping up here gives access to our roof peak / our roof exit. They both are combined into one here. Jump up the single door and peek, and open the garage door when you're ready to leave. The roof is completely covered by only 2 turrets, great for people who like to play maybe blueprint servers, where you have a turret limit. Only need 2 to cover the entire roof. On the corners we have these nice kind of like half height peaks that we can use, allowing us to head glitch down towards people inside the compound and around and close to the compound. Of course we have our windmills on top of those points, and it's a nice spot to put a bag and a small box too, for even more respawns. In the center of our roof we have 2 venom machine bunkers as well, to add even more raid cost to the base, or just keep your selling items nice and safe. There goes the base, hopefully you guys liked it. First of all, here is the total build cost. Second up is it in box amounts. And lastly is the total upkeep, spread between 5 TCs, the main TC upkeep in the majority of this. Lastly, boys and girls, I'll throw up the footprint, take a screenshot of this, and let's get on to the build tutorial. Alright, let's start off with a 2x1. And this time we're going to include all of the triangles, so 3 triangles on each side, and a single door to cap us off at the top. We'll wrap us all the way around in walls, and this is our entire starter base. As far away from the front door is our TC, and you can swap that out with a window or a single door, and try and get an armored door on that if you can. Then that leaves us with 2 loot rooms and a spot for furnaces, again behind a single door. And that's your starter base, good to go. From there, if you're looking to expand out, we do 2 triangles, just like that, and begin to build part of our airlock. Careful, above our front door we do have a ladder hatch frame, so don't accidentally add a floor in there early on, you don't want to do that. Then we wall this in, add our airlock on the opposite side, again a ladder hatch frame again. Next, expanding our footprint, on the sides we have our squares, and then on the back and front we have a triangle to honeycomb. And that's our main base footprint looking good. Let's honeycomb the bottom floor now. Then we can fill in the squares. And these squares have got half height loot rooms in them, so don't forget to add a half height square inside of there. And that wall can be rotated, sorry. All the floors in those squares. And then we can just add in some ramps and start working on this second floor here. Adding in ramps all the way around, a lower ramp, not a raised one. And we can add the floors in front of there. And the door that leads into our bunker and comes up from our front door. And we're just walling in the second floor so we can finish up the open core, give you guys a little bit more space before you get those externals down, so you've got some more boxes. Double door to separate in the center. The 2 triangles on the left and right are our jump ups, so they need a half height triangle. And then all the frames are in, we're left to work on the loot rooms. And you got a ramp at the bottom, then 2 triangle shelves, giving us 6 boxes per square, 24 boxes total, with 2 venom machines in the center. Making sure that we delete those triangles that come back through the wall there. Those are temporary and just allow us to get our half-height triangle like that. That's all those are for. That's the floor plan from above. Let's seal it in, of course, leaving out the triangles for our jump ups on each side. Okay, cool. Add a roof on that. Get an airlock secured. And then we can move on to the wide gaps. Let's go. Alright, let's start off at the front door, and we're doing the 2 square wide gap method. We built out with 2 triangles there, just to give us the shape that we need. Then we'll build back with triangles, completing the footprint and the gaps with squares. Just copying the build out as I do, to give us this shape here, is what we're looking for. Then from there, we're adding on an airlock, double door, 2 windows, and then frames everywhere you can fit them. Add your floors on top, and we'll get a gatehouse attached to this, and then eventually an external TC. Standard ass gatehouse, nothing fancy going on there. And then a square, 3 triangles, and our external goes down. So in total it's a square and 3 triangles, to give us enough stability for our disconnectable to work. Make this TC as strong or as weak as you want, completely up to you, if you're feeling lazy. And then connect back with frames similar to the foundations we placed before. Right, let's repeat what we just did on the opposite side, and I'll be back with you once you got that completed. Okay, onto the opposite side now. We're going to do a small build out just like this. Then onto the 2 square wide gap method. And we'll break all our twig and come back with triangles. And then repeat that same build out so we can get our 2 wide gap triangles like this. Upgrade those. And then we are just going to go around with a combination of triangles and squares until we meet the opposite side. And there we go. Wonderful, that's what we want. Now you'll remember that we have our little turret pod here. Before we add that in, we need to build out for our external. And again, make this as strong as weak as you want. All you need to remember is that double half wall. That's the only essential part to make sure your disconnectable works. And a combination of doors, windows, anything you can think of, throw on there. Bunker it if you want, completely up to you. Now from here we can make our compound peak. Turret goes underneath. Frames connect, squares go along, and boom. Lead some frames back, and we'll throw down this starting base for our wide gaps along here too. Most of these frames are necessary to prevent decay, so if you have decay, place your frames, and if you're having any more issues, join the Discord and don't be afraid to ask me. Now we'll do exactly what we just did, and I'll be with you guys once you're all caught up. Okay, the externals are in. We're looking at our bunkers now. Above our airlock is where our bunker goes. You'll see that our walls are mismatched. This is essential for our bunker to work. Then the triangle roofs go in. We're only going to upgrade the one on the right hand side. And we'll leave our bunker open for just now while we build to ensure we do not accidentally close it. The triangles that I just placed are essential that they go down like that, and we need our gap towards the main base. making sure we leave our bunker open so we can ensure we do not break it. And this is how we want it to look. Opening up that bunker, allowing us to place our triangles in like this. If you have some trouble, place the one in the middle first and then you can get the one to the left. Just like that. Sometimes it can be finicky, don't worry. Again, join the Discord if you need help. Alright lads, let's go into shooting floor now. In order to get to shooting floor, we need to finish off our bedroom floor and upgrade the main base a little bit first. But we have our bunkers now, which is great. You guys can go to sleep if you want. At this stage, this is all you need for day one. Throw your loot in the bunkers and get to bed if need be. If you're ready to continue though, get these bedroom floors down. Spam garage doors in between everything. And get these locker kits filled up for a potential offline raid. And from here we can wall in this floor. Another airlock. 2 loot rooms, 1 on each side of our jump up. And then finally an exit out into our shooting floor. Next, it's essential that these triangle floors go in before these triangle roofs. I'll show you around this other side why. As you can see, these are red, so do it in the correct order, or else you're going to run into some issues. And that covers up all our gaps perfectly, which is what we want to see. On top of our bunker, we'll add in some frames to begin our wide gap shooting floor. And you can frame it all the way around like that, giving us a wonderful peek down into compound. Talking about frames, there's a lot of them to raise up. On this side, it's fairly basic. Window goes on the left, low wall goes on the right. Very important that you do that. You don't want to muddle those two up. And then from there you can build a small bedroom compartment with some roof peak sections next to it as well, like that. There'll be 4 of them in total, so if you thought that was fast, you'll see it 3 more times, so don't worry. Frames on top of half walls, frames over here. Half wall, window on that side, and then low wall there too. Making sure we place the floor in the right place. So our low walls are close to each other and our windows are far away from each other. Just like that. So both our bed entrances face each other. Then in the middle it's half wall with window on top to give us a nice roof peak and to make our bedroom slightly safer when we're inside the shooting floor. And then we can replicate everything onto the opposite side over here. Alright, next we're going to fill in this section over here. And this is our roof exit / roof peak up. 3 triangles should give us enough space for that. We have a spot for boxes here and a spot for a turret there. Above the turret is a single door and above the boxes is a double door. You'll throw a garage door in there so you can exit out onto roof. Now we'll do the same over here. Just our roof peak up, roof exit combination with some drop boxes and a turret spot. Just like that. And we're missing 1 frame, so let's drop down and raise these frames up on both sides of the base. And there we go. Get a triangle on there, place it in the right spot, my bad. And a window on top of that frame. And nobody can get through that gap, so don't worry about that. Now, at this stage, shooting floor is looking pretty clean. We'll get some frames down for stability, leading through our shooting floor. And then finally floors on top of our shooting floor. And then all we've got left is some compound walls and our roof. on the roof, it consists of mainly triangle roof ramps. Some heading out, some heading back in the way. These backwards roofs are of course going to keep our turret nice and safe from the outside and create some uncertainty for people that are walking past your base. They might know there's a turret, they might not. Then it's triangle roofs facing out the way. A small area here where you can fit a bag and a small box for a couple of extra bedrooms on the roof. And then to defend those, a couple of backwards roofs again, making the base look nice and cool from the outside. Alright, in the sides that we've left out, triangle roofs again, and they're facing out the way. And you throw some horizontal embrasures on those half-out windows there, and you've got a wonderful peak. As for these doors, I would leave them open because you do feel slightly exposed when it's not open. Covers a pretty big gap on the roof, so, and also creates a nice door peak angle too. If any bunkers go in 2 low walls, get a crosser up, slap that right in the center, and the wall should place in front nice and easy. If it goes red, then you fucked it, and there's nothing you can do. So make sure you get it right in the center, as far back into those low walls. Alright, not much left now. Couple of windmill spots. I'm a man for symmetry, so you might not need 4 windmills necessarily. But that's the spots that you can put them on. Lastly, compound is really simple. In between each external TC and gatehouse, you need 3 high walls. And there are 4 open spots, which means we need 12 high walls in total to cover up the compound. And they connect up just like that. Same all the way around. Barricades go in as shown, easy peasy, and boom, once you've done that, that completes the base sign. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. This base is a banger, and I really expect to see it out there on some servers. I appreciate you all, boys and girls, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.